So I've been thinking it may be time to take down one of my videos. I was listening to a former alt-right YouTuber and social media streamer named Dark Matter. Might be more to his name, but I remember Dark Matter. And he talked about his journey and how he stopped being anti-woke. And one of the things that he said was that what he responded to so negatively in quote-unquote wokeness was more represented by a style of interacting with the world that chose to be highly offended and to sort of look for people who were attacking one, and then to sort of hyper enlarge what they are doing and why they're doing it and what their intentions are, when the person didn't know anything about it, and that they were sort of hypocritical and they only judge some people by that measure and not all. And I do not think that's me, and at least I have strived not to be that kind of a person. But I have noticed the temptation starting to creep in, particularly with the anonymity of the internet. And the other thing that he said, and this one really stuck with me, is that you should never hate anyone, because you will become what you hate. And I struggle with that one, because I think on a personal basis, I probably would never hate probably anyone just walking down the street for just being who they are, right? But I tend to be a fairly passionate, sort of engaged person, as I guess you can tell from my TikToks. And that passion has gotten more insistent as I've gotten to know myself better, and what I stand for and what I stand up against, and what I know is bullshit that's that they're trying to sell as gold nuggets, okay? And I guess I struggle in myself because I was so naive. I was so trusting. I was so too nice that, although that was never the full extent of who I am, I was hurt. But when I watched this, I guess it's about a 20-minute piece, and it was really quite good, where this gentleman reflects on understanding that he was so upset with quote-unquote woke crowd because of this kind of hypersensitivity, that he then became the hypersensitive one. And it rang a little bit of a bell, and I went, oh, shoot. Guilty as charged. Now, I've never acted on it in terms of anything other than a crazy video on TikTok. But me at my worst is not representative of who I am as a person. And honestly, when we are at our most raw, it is not always the most beautiful place you're going to see in our soul, because we are like a live nerve, exposed. And I think that in some ways, although it's awful, that we are now all going to be whirling through this time of just Trump's up and down chaos and madness and the instability and the idiocracy that he represents. In a way, it was also like, okay, the worst has happened. Once I got past all my anger and my sadness, right? And TikTok, true to its reputation, mocked me for my sadness, and they mocked me from my rage. But here's a little secret. I'm still here. And I am not backing down from being my true and authentic self just because that makes you uncomfortable. I won't be quiet so you can be comfortable. But I also don't have to be cruel. So, I will still snatch you up if that's what's required to talk some sense into you. But it always does come from a place of caring. Maybe it's not always the right words, but it's the true words from my heart.